But let's quickly cut across to our expert on the story. Jitin Jain is with us. He's a cybersecurity expert. Jitin and I have spoken for years now, talking about cybersecurity. For years, we've been talking about it. This is the biggest sort of scam that faces us. It's the biggest problem that we face online. It impacts everybody. Doesn't matter the gender, doesn't matter the size of your bank account, doesn't even matter which city you are from. It's sort of everywhere. Doesn't matter if you're a banker, doesn't matter if you're a politician, doesn't matter even if you're a journalist. It really is getting after anybody and everybody. So Jitin, as we look at these numbers, what is your initial understanding? One thing is very, very clear, that the highest growth in any kind of crime in India has come in cybercrime. But the minute I say that figure, the police is going to say that's only because reporting has gone up. This is exactly what happened post Nirbhaya on rape cases, when they said now people are talking more about it, so please don't blame us. It's just that people are reporting more. That's why the statistic has gone up. This is the play of numbers. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree, because you see, the rise in the number of reported cases should be welcome, because you would have seen in last decade or so, first until up to 2013-14, police officials were hesitant to, receive any cyber cases. Because they lack the capacity to investigate. They have no idea how to seize and do the forensic of devices, how to carry out investigations. Forget about prosecution, or even then accused being sent to behind bars. So, with the large training modules which have been imparted to police personnel across India, you now see in last 4 or 5 years that, especially in cities like Mumbai, Delhi, or, and South Indian states like Karnataka and Hyderabad, police have become more tech savvy. They are more inclined to register cases. They try and investigate even if they're not able to prosecute, but they do try and investigate and recover your money. But the problem is, see, this whole digitalization of our society and economy post-COVID has become a double-edged sword. On one hand, Jan Dhan accounts, Aadhaar card, Aadhaar email, KYCs, the largest penetration of mobile phones in any society, which is in India, availability of high-speed internet has, given such, great pleasures to our society. We can do remote education. We can, do all these subsidy applications online. Corruption has gone down, with transparency for tenders. Everything has, the public service delivery has essentially gone in 100% automated online mode. But what has happened, with more and more people logging in on the online devices for the first time in their lives, especially senior citizens, people living in remote areas, who may have wealth but may not have cyber hygiene education, they are falling prey to scams every day. Now, there are three kind of scams. The 92% of 94% of any kind of cybercrime which is reported is financial frauds, OTP frauds,
70%
Ponzi.
actually according to NCRB, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, the recorded data is always, 10% of what the actual crimes are.
Yeah.
And they are the people who are able to report. We are talking about the people who do not even know where the police station is. So in my, the studies we have spoken to, almost around 94-95% cases are of financial frauds. Of those 95%, 94% do not find any, final conclusion, because you're not able to prosecute or find that, accused. So only 1% remains solved. And out of that 1%, there is actually any prosecution and punishment. So this is the figure. Now, 94%, Sonal, you will be shocked to know, 87 to 88% are scams which are less than 5,000 rupees. Now, when you scam a person, for a rich man, like, some people use con 1 or 2 lakhs, it is just a setback in his life or a loss. When you steal 5,000-10,000 rupees from a poor farmer in a village, there is so many sacrifices. You're not stealing money, you're stealing dreams, future. And they are the people who do not even know how to write a complaint, forget about filing an FIR. They do not know how to lodge a complaint in 1930. These people are... So, and they don't report, they just lose the entire trust in the digital ecosystem, the dignity, and their lifetime savings.
But Jitin, I have last few minutes, so I want to ask you this. On one hand, when we look at this, the most important here is that we now have, when you call someone, they tell you about fraud par mat phaiye. You have connections now, Airtel, for example, which is coming out and say that we will call it a scam alert. You have banks who are now saying we've enrolled people and we will not allow all of this. But none of this is really working. We're always playing catch up.
All of this works for rich people, not for 3,000 rupees poor farmer who's losing. So this is one. Second, obviously, if you look at 1930 helpline, 22 lakh complaints. Tell me how many people are manning that helpline? not even 1,000. That's the problem too. uh, Society is young. You're falling for this clickbait, this extortion scams. You randomly get a call from beautiful girls, exposing you to nudity, and then they
Honey
take
trap.
photos, a screenshot of you in an intimate position or in a new position. Then they
Hmm.
blackmail you. Now,
Hmm.
blackmail does not end with money. It
Hmm.
carries on as a perpetual extortion because you are then scared to report because you want to save image in society, family, and friends. So the bigger the and more dangerous the scam, there is less likelihood of it getting reported, and
Hmm.
people commit suicides. People end up giving life savings. I have known people in friends and family circle who have given lakhs of rupees because somebody
Hmm.
sitting in Pakistan conned them into some digital arrest, this digital
Hmm.
fake courier scams. And
Hmm.
then so extortion and this digital arrest scams are now on the rise, and they are very, very dangerous because they wipe you off your entire dignity, life savings. And I think we
Yeah.
as a society are completely struggling to catch hold of these
Hmm.
people who are operating out of our country. So I think we
Hmm.
need to spend heavily on digital cyber education for our society. We need to
Hmm.
empower our police
Yes.
at a public scale.
Yes, we should. And I think what's required also is the fact that we can't let everybody fend for themselves, because this is not a problem that can be
Maybe
tackled
next
by
India Today
individuals.
conclave should also be on cyber. Should have a module on cyber like you do on health and
Very
wellness.
good idea. I will take it up with the management, and I think that's a great one. We should do a entire conclave only on cyber fraud and cybercrime. On that lovely sort of advice that we've got from Jitin, let's show you another flip side of digital extortion.